everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we are going to solve the bike challenge from 𝑭𝒐𝒐. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Task 1. What TCP ports does Nmap identify as open? Answer with a list of ports separated by commas with no spaces, from low to high. So let's perform an Nmap scan. -S capital S, and this switch initiates a discrete scan, also known as a half open scan, which does not complete the TCP connection, making it harder to detect. Also, this switch needs root permission to be run, so you need to insert the command sudo before you run the nmap command, okay? Then we will use the switch -S capital V that gives us the version, and then the switch V that stands for verbose that will give us information during and after the scan. Now we just need to copy our IP address and paste it here. You insert your password and that's it, you just need to wait a little bit. As you can see, all this information it's here because we told Nmap to give us this information with the switch V, okay? So here we have two ports that are opened, the port 22 and the 80, so that's our answer. The port 80 can be hosting a website, so let's verify it. Let's copy our IP address and paste it here. And here we have a website. Task 2. What software is running the service listening on the HTTP web ports identified in the first question? So if you go back to our Nmap scan, you can see that the service is Node.js, so that's our answer. Task 3. What is the name of the web framework according to 𝑭𝒐𝒐? We go back to our website, and if you don't have 𝑭𝒐𝒐, you can go to these three bars, click on it, then you can go to settings, then to extensions and themes, and you can search for it here. This is for Firefox, I don't know for other browsers, but if you Google it, you will find a way to install 𝑭𝒐𝒐 on your browser. So you click here, this is 𝑭𝒐𝒐, and you will see that the web frameworks is Express, so that's our answer, Express. Task 4. What is the name of the vulnerability we test for by submitting 7x7? The name of the vulnerability is server-side template injection, so that's our answer, also known as SSTI. SSTI vulnerabilities allow an attacker to inject template code into a server-rendered page. A successful attack can lead to code execution on the server, allowing the attacker to potentially take over that server. The 7x7 injection is a simple example used to test for vulnerabilities by checking if the server processes the expression and returns the calculated value. Now that we know this, we can see if our website executes our payload 7x7. So I will copy this payload and then I will insert it here. Submit. Okay, so our website does not execute our payload but give us a lot of information. But let's move on to the other task. Task 5. What is the templating engine being used within Node.js? So, when we inserted the payload 7x7 on our website, we were basically telling, please calculate 7x7. But we received an error message because handlebars doesn't normally calculate numbers directly like this. Instead, handlebars is hoping to find this information here: ID, string, number, boolean, etc. However, we didn't inserted none of this information, so handlebars told us that our payload does not make sense. Now, we know what handlebars accepts, so handlebar accepts ID, strings, numbers, etc. And we also know the exact place in the handlebars program where it ran into trouble. So bottom line, our templating engine is handlebars. You can see that here. So our answer is handlebars. Task 6. What is the name of the 𝒏_suite tab used to encode text? The name is decoder. I will show you. So you go to 𝒏_suite and here you have the decoder. Task 7. In order to send special characters in our payload in an HTTP request, we will encode the payloads. What type of encoding do we use? We use URL. That's our answer. We encode our payload because encoding the payload ensures that it is treated as plain text rather than executable code that then can lead to security vulnerabilities like cross-site scripting attacks, okay? Now that we know all this information, we can search for a payload that is compatible with our handlebars used within Node.js. So let's go to _Ectrix. Then search for server-side template injection. Server-side template injection. You click here where it says SSGI. Now we can click Ctrl F and search for handlebars Node.js, and here we have our payloads. Okay, but before we can use our payloads, we need to go back to our website. Go back here, one page, and we need to go to Foxy Proxy and enable 𝒏_suite. Now let's go to 𝒏_suite, to proxy, then HTTP history and submit our payloads. And here we have our request. Now we need to send our request to repeater because it's there that we are going to work with our payload, okay? So here we have the payloads from 7 × 7, and now we can copy our payload from Ectrix, go to decoder, insert it, and encode as URL. And here we have our payload encoded. Now we copy, we go to repeater, and we substitute our payload here with our new payload. And now we send it. Okay, as you can see, we received an error page that says require is not defined. If you see on our payload, we have here return require. However, in our case, require is not defined, so we need to try other way. By the way, the answer to task 8 is require, okay? So task 8, when we use a payload from Ectrix to try to run system commands, we get an error back, what is not defined in the response error. So our answer is require. Task 9. What variable is the name of the top-level scope in Node.js? So if you search on Google, top-level scope in Node.js, you need to disable 𝒏_suite, refresh the page, and you will see that the answer is global, okay? That's our answer. Now that we know this, let's search for a global Node.js. So go back and insert here global. Click here, and from our list we can use process here, because process provides information about and control over the current Node.js process, and because it is readily available in all Node.js environments without requiring any additional imports like require. Basically, process is in global scope, which means it is always available. Unlike process, require seems global in the sense that you can call it from anywhere, but it is not global because it is not available everywhere by default, unless you import it, of course. So if you click here on require, you will see that it says this variable may appear to be global, but is not. Now, let's insert process on our payload and see what's the output. So you go back to decoder, and here, where it says return require, you can take this off and insert process. Now let's copy our encoded payload go to repeater and take this off. You passed the new payload, and as you can see, we don't get an error, and from our output we can see that we are interacting with the server, so we confirm that template injection is possible. Now, after looking at the process documentation in Node.js website, so if you insert process Node.js, you will have it here, the documentation. And after looking at this process documentation, I found out that the main module, this one here, is the answer that we are looking for, because if you click on it, you will see that the process main module property provides an alternative way of retrieving required .main. So essentially, main module functions similarly to a Play Store on our smartphones, where you search for and download the apps you need. In our context, main module includes the required function. Without main module, the required function wouldn't be defined. So we can now insert on our payloads main module, so .main module .require, and now we can insert this here, child process.exec_wmi, although I will make a few changes. And if we can access require, we can run our command wmi on the server. But just be sure to change the exec here to exec sync, because we want immediate feedback from the command execution. So exec sync runs synchronously and returns the standard output directly. This means that as soon as the command wmi is executed, the output is immediately available and can be returned. Now, if you use exec only, which is asynchronous, it does not pause processing to wait for the command wmi to finish. As a result, the payload's subsequent steps that depend on the command's output will fail because they execute before the command completes. Okay, now let's run our command. So we copy our encoded payloads, we go to repeater, and we change this payload with the new one. We send. As you can see, we do not receive an error page, and we can see that the user is root. And by the way, that's the answer to task 10. By exploiting this vulnerability, we get command execution as the user that the web server is running as. What is the name of that user? Root, as you can see here. Now, we know that we can run Linux commands on our server. We just need to search for our flag. To do that, we can run the following commands. So we go to our decoder and we take off the command wmi and we insert find /name and flag.txt. Basically, this command will search for a file named flag.txt, and the / specifies the starting point for the search, and the starting point is the root directory. Now, we don't know that our flag is saved on a file called flag.txt, but we can suppose that it is. So, let's copy our payload, go to repeater, and take this off. Send. Okay, and we have here the path to our flag file. Now let's use the cat command to check the contents of the flag.txt file to see if our flag is saved there. To do that, we just need to go to decoder and insert the following cat and our path to the file flag, that is root. Okay, so now we have our command cat and the path to the file that we want to see the contents of. Okay, now we copy our payloads, we go to repeater and we repeat everything again. And we did it! We have here our flag, guys. As you can see, I will show you here. And as you can see, it's the same flag that it's here. So that's it for our bike challenge from Hack the Box. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to keep up with all our latest videos. See you next time, stay curious, stay safe and keep exploring those challenges. Bye bye!